Yo, what is up, everybody? Good morning, good morning. Let's go ahead and turn that off. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? Gals? It's been a little bit since I was last on. And I think today, what we're gonna do, I've been pondering starting a new big project. I haven't quite figured out exactly what I want to do yet. So, in the meantime, I think we're just going to do a quick alien head sketch. Not sketch, but sculpt today. I was going through some old Mass Effect Andromeda concept work, and I found some pretty cool alien heads that I think would be fun organic sculpts to do. So we're gonna do that. We're actually going to work on this guy. This guy's a concept from grab it for you. Ben Lowe, who's a senior concept artist, did some work on Mass Effect. He did some of these really cool alien head explorations. Really, really awesome stuff. So I figured, what better way to practice doing some organic sculpts. So a lot of my stuff lately has been pretty technical, more technical than kind of freeform. So I've been wanting to do something a little bit more organic. So this is the dude I'm going to do today. I'm going to see if we can bust that out in a couple hours today. 2 hours. So that's what we're going to work on. That's what we're going to do. So this dude is the dude we're going to work on. So we're just going to start right. Excuse me. Still getting over a cough like 4 months later. All right. So this is what we're going to do, and we're just going to start from a sphere. Dynamesh the heck out of it and have fun. That's what we're going to do. So make Polymesh 3D. If this is your first time watching a ZBrush stream, my interface is a little bit crazy. Don't worry about that. Basically what I do is I just take everything that I use in the tool palette and put it out on the side here. And then I use some of the other things here like symmetry and depth and cameras, alphas and stuff, lighting and everything. And then across the top some more stuff that I use a lot. So, alright, let's get rolling. Alright, so usually what I'll do is I'll keep a copy of the concept behind here so that I can just really quickly see where I'm at in terms of the overall shape of everything. Actually, this I'm going to take a little bit further down here. Okay, so usually what I'll do is, actually, you know what? Let me make sure. Let me make sure my mapping is force proportions. Okay, cool. All right. So let's just do Dynamesh. I want to keep the Dynamesh low in the beginning so that I can do pretty broad strokes and not have to go too far into details and fixing things. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring this down to say 56. Redynamesh it. That's probably good to start with. 90 is probably way too much for my perspective, so turn that down to about 28. Yeah, that should work. Alright. I'm just going to try to get just the overall feeling down first. And then we'll just kind of go from there. How's everybody doing this morning? On this fine Saturday morning. I feel like this stuff can kind of move forward and then do this nice sweep back. Alright, we got, I don't really need that. So he's got like this thing coming out here. We've got this zygoma coming out through here. We've got a piece coming through here. Excuse me. So the zygoma comes in through here, and then we've got this other piece that comes kind of like this. Looks a little bit like Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants at the moment. It's okay, it always looks like crap in the beginning. Always looks like crap in the beginning. Okay, so we're gonna have this. See, the important thing at this stage is just to really try to nail down the shapes and silhouette. This probably should come up a little bit more. And then what we're going to do is bring this down like this. Redynamesh real quick, and then we're going to pull this guy up. Kind of match. Starting to get this going. Just making sure that the chat is working. If somebody's around, will you reply? I just want to make sure that my chat window is the right one. I think it is. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this neck piece as a separate piece. And then the way I'm going to do that is just do an insert. So let's do B for brush, I for insert. Split unmasked points. And then let's go over to these dudes. We'll Dynamesh those guys. That's good. And then now we've got a separate mesh, which is just fine. That's what we want. So this is going to come up to about his chin area. And then this is going to come down and connect just below his neck. Alright, well, I hope I'm not missing your guys' chat at all. It is Saturday morning, so I understand. I understand. So I'll just try to... Hey, there we go, it is working. What's up, man? So just try to inflate these, just so they're kind of overlapping here. And then just Redynamesh real quick, and then those will be together. Excuse me. From the middle of the world. What's up, man? How you doing, buddy? This, I think, is going to be a little bit more up here. So if we sweep... I think down a little bit. Let's just smooth this out. And then it'll come in. Maybe have a little bit of the bridge of the nose. And then the face mouth thing will be here. And then there. Something like that. I think the eyes will be in this area here. Alright, so we got this kind of ridge thing that comes up. Through here. Let's pull this thing down some more. It's all about just trying to kind of get the overall proportions in at this moment. This is where Dynamesh is just beautiful. God bless Dynamesh. Thank you very much, Pixelogic. You guys freaking rock. Let's pull this dude out some. Think maybe this should start coming back a little bit. I don't have enough weight back here. Maybe what we'll do is just rotate this guy this way a little bit. Yeah, it feels a little bit better. Alright, so we've got this thing, a jig coming through here. Got a little bit of shoulders. I'll work on that a little bit more back there later. We'll just kind of pull this dude out. Just try to block in some of these shapes. Might be actually easier. I'm wondering if it would be easier to just have the concept up for you guys so you can see what the heck I'm doing. These I want to come back more. And then they're just gonna kind of skinny out. And then do like a little thing. And then maybe I'll just have a little bit more of something out here. I don't want to make it look too gestury though. So maybe I'll just... Alright, that's a little bit closer to see how we're looking on the overall silhouette here. So he's got his head cocked off to the left just a little bit. Let's see how we're doing here. Just by... not too bad. Not too bad. I think these can come out more. This can come up more back here. These guys can definitely come up in and closer. Something like that. Okay. Cool. Now we're rocking. Just want to get some of these landmarks a little bit closer to where they're actually sitting. So this ridge will probably be up here more. That'll come in. I've got this zygomatic ridge that comes through here. This is going to come in. So this is kind of what I do in my professional side as well. All right, if I got something that, what's up, Romrick? How you doing, man? If I have a concept that I'm working on, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just do this little trick where I put the concept behind it and just use my see-through, and then I can come in and just make sure I hit those points really well. Okay, so we've got, here's the eyelid. In here we've got these little thingamajiggers coming this way. We've got through there. Okay, let's see how we're looking. Alright, a little bit closer. Okay, so I think it's good enough at this point to start refining some more of the secondary forms here. Because right now that looks like crap. Okay, so let's do this. Now it's really kind of about feeling it out in 3D, right? How does it actually feel? Does it feel like all this stuff needs to come back more? Right, because if we're looking at this dude, it feels like this part right here is probably the most forward part, and this sweeps back in a little bit, and then this is probably the most inner part, and then this will probably come out more, a little bit more, right? So this little hole right here just below his eyes would be the furthest in, and then this would be the furthest out. It's kind of what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking. Alright, and then this part actually comes out more. And all this comes in. Okay. All this will come in. This is kind of our job as a 3D artist, as a character artist, to really take the 2D and really breathe actual life into it, you know, in the 3D realm. And that's tough to do in some cases. Excuse me. Alright, so let's put in some eyes. Usually about this point, I like putting in some eyes just to start kind of working around them. There we go, that's a little better. Alright, so eyes. Usually what I'll do is I'll just append a sphere. So do append, sphere, come in, grab my sphere, grab this dude, we're going to pull him over here, scale this guy down. And then we're just going to mirror and weld and turn on symmetry. And now I've got some eyeballs. But this dude is not symmetrical. Is he? Yeah, he is. I think they're actually even a little bit smaller than that, so let's take those down just a little bit more. Alright, now what I can do is... What's up, Fox? How you doing, man? Just start bellowing this out and then pulling some eyelids in. Just to get a little bit of actual face anatomy in here. There we go. Alright, now we can start building from here. Red eyes? We'll see. You know, he doesn't have red eyes in the concept. He's got green eyes. Okay, so let's work on his coolness just a little bit. I feel like he looks a little bit dorky. So I'm going to try to get a little bit better shapes in here. Yeah, he totally has a popped collar. Alright, let's get a little bit of this sternocleidomastoid-ish form in there. Okay. So it's a really fine balance between sticking with the concept and then making sure that your forms just read well. You know what I mean? So usually what I'll do is I'll come in and just put in the major shapes like this, and then I'll work on kind of the cool factor, I guess you could say. Just making sure that all your shapes are looking pleasing to the eye, you know what I mean? And this is the fun part, really, like when you're starting to kind of pull out some more of the secondary details. You take it from kind of that blob to, yeah, this actually looks not completely horrible. Okay, so let's see if we can get a little bit better these internal structures going on. So this is going to come all in. Oh, the chin, that's why. It's like, why does this not look like this dude? That's because all this needs to go away. All this needs to go away. So this come in a little bit more. I feel like this stuff can come down. All right, let's put in this little dude. Sometimes I'll even just do this. Maybe we'll grab this guy and pull him over here. And I'll just sculpt this way. Especially for you guys. I have a second monitor that I'm looking at it on, but you because you guys can't see my second monitor. Maybe I'll just do this for a little bit so you guys can actually see the things that I'm seeing. I'm just going to try to pull this piece in a little bit, get a little bit better. What's up, Yato Art? How you doing, man? How's life? This we're gonna pull in. Alright, we get like this little piece coming back through here. Yo, what's up, Seagull? How you doing? Turkey! Holy cow! Wow. Greetings from California. All the way from sunny California, where it's raining. And it's not really sunny. But it still is California. Alright. So let's try to kind of get some of these things flowing through here. Where you at, Seagull? Okay, you got this. Comes back down through here. Okay, I feel like it's starting to get a little bit too lumpy. Lithuania. Holy schmolies. These really are from around the world. It's crazy. Sometimes when things start to get a little bit too lumpy in there, I like to just go over it real quick with a smooth. See if I can pull some of those shapes back a little bit. Sometimes they can start getting away from you. Okay, so we got this that comes down here. We got like this little knotty thing that comes up there. This stuff actually comes up more, I would say. Then this actually comes down. Let's have this actually come most of the way back. Yeah, it could be, it does have that Warframe feel to it. You are correct. This is a little bit too... Okay. So we've got this piece that kind of comes like this. I'm thinking maybe this stuff can pull back a little bit. Feel like this whole thing just kind of needs to rotate. More like that. Maybe even more. So at this point, it's really about just kind of getting the feel for the guy in 3D, you know? Maybe this stuff actually comes back more. This best method to block out because every time I start with Dynamesh, things get very mushy and it gets very discouraging. Um, it's honestly, what I try to do is it's exactly what I'm doing here, where I'll keep it low and mushy until I can't get any more out of this Dynamesh resolution, and then I'll go up one. What's up, Panic? How you doing? Hey, no, what? No, no, I don't want no master password here. Come on, get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, so I feel like this is a little bit. He's being a little bit too much of a rhino. I'm gonna see if I can get all of this feeling better. Maybe the back of the skull kind of comes out. So this comes back in. So when do you start dynameshing and start subdividing? I usually don't go into subdivisions until until I can't get any more out of Dynamesh. Um, so usually it won't be for a while, especially when I'm just blocking this stuff out. I try to spend as much time just so here's the reason why I wait, because it's so important to make sure that all of your forms are correct before you move on. So I I and a lot of people have a tendency to try to rush into details and happens a lot. Where does his eyes go? There they are, way back there. Snaps. So what I try to do to keep myself from going into details faster than I should, I try to keep my resolution as low as possible on purpose until I feel like I nailed it just in the forms. This actually stuff comes out. Yeah, traditional clay is another good way to kind of practice that, for sure. So really, it's so important to make sure that your first and secondary forms are just spot on before you move into details. So I'm gonna have this guy swing way back. It's feeling a little bit better, I think. Maybe this whole thing can come back here too. So once you get past all the first and secondary forms and you start going into details, you're less apt to focus on those really important first and secondary forms. And then that's kind of the rookie mistake, you know what I mean? So I do what I can to force myself out of those habits. So I literally try to get as much as I can out of Dynamesh first. And this blockout phase is super important. You can actually get a lot out of this phase, right? I mean, I'm only sitting at 28,000 polys for this piece. I actually think that this can probably come back even more. Yeah, it's really just like trying to make sure that you stick to the basics, like you're saying, Siegel. It's like there's so many ways to mess up. So if you tried to limit those, um, the better it is. Right. So now I'm really trying to kind of get a lot of these compound shapes starting to work, where you have shapes kind of coming into one another. Right. So like this shape kind of comes in here, and this shape kind of comes out like this. And then I'm specifically looking at the silhouette on this side as well as this side here, and just making sure that it looks interesting. Also, I switch between brushes pretty quickly. So if you're ever curious at what brush I'm using, just take a look up right over here. Okay. I actually feel like this comes in way more, right? So like this piece is actually pretty far, maybe not pretty far, but at least further out than what this is. Right, so we've got this that comes out probably something more like that. Okay, so let's see if we can get this line coming in here. The other thing that I try to keep aware of is having repeating shapes, like the same size shapes. So I talk a lot about like layered cake effect, where you have a large element, you have a medium element, and then you have a small element, right? Like layers of a cake. What doesn't look really good is, so that's pleasing to the eye, right? That's pleasing to the human eye. Is if you have this, where it's like the same, that can work, but in the case of, see like this right here, so we have one curve, this curve, this curve, and this curve are all the same size, right? That's why it looks like crap. So even if you just take that layered cake effect and go, well, I want this to be the large shape, and then you do something more like this, that looks more interesting. So I always try to look and see if I have these repeating shapes. Like here, like I have this, this, and this. Right? That doesn't really look that good. What if you take this one out and do a smaller one here? Alright, that looks more interesting. So those are the types of things that I'm always kind of looking at in the back of my head. Speaking of back of the head, just taking those core art concepts and making sure they apply kind of across the board, What I don't think is happening on this guy is this coming out further than this. Actually, you know what? I think it may be. Maybe it would be better if this actually comes forward more. But this. I think this guy actually comes up more like that. Which means that I can pull this guy back. Yeah, exactly. That this piece is the furthest forward, way past this, right? So I want to make sure that that feels correct. And I don't know what's going on back here yet. I haven't figured this out. This whole thing is really ugly to me back here. So I'm trying to kind of get the overall feel of this front piece, and then I'll mimic whatever those elements are back here. All of this stuff back here. I'm not too worried about that yet. I'm really trying to just nail the front piece. The way you'll actually be, you'll actually need to do that a lot in your work if you're a character artist. There's plenty of times when all you get is a front piece, right? So the trick to that is really establishing the look and feel and nailing the original, and then taking those same design elements and just repeating it in the back. Okay, I think, whoop, not that brush. Just pull this and then push this piece in, and this, and then this. Alright, now I feel like we're getting a little bit closer. This can bulk up a little bit through here. Eye socket comes through here. So the other thing that's happening too is that it feels like this is two different elements on this side, but it feels like it's the same element on this side. So this at some of these points where you have inconsistencies in the symmetry, you kind of have to make a decision as a 3D artist, right? As the modeler, do you keep them symmetrical? Is this more like this, or is it asymmetrical? Or do you choose this one and interpret it to this side? It's kind of one of those decisions you just kind of have to make feel right for that character. So usually what I'll do when it gets to those is I'll try to do as much of everything else to get the feel of the character. And then I'll go and actually try to figure out what I think is best for that character. You know what I mean? It could be battle scarred. Chipped and battle scarred. It could be. That's good. I think this can get pushed in a little bit more. So you'll see how far you can push this stuff just with low resolution. Feels cutter. Sven! Dude, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? So I feel like this actually comes down, right? So it could kind of, this is sharp, it comes in and then has like a little, which is not what's happening here. I feel like it doesn't want to be flat. This should come back. Yeah. Yep, not quite there. Not quite there. This comes actually back more through there. And this is actually thicker. Alright, so he's got kind of like this flat piece that kind of comes through there. Alright, and then we got this plane change. Right, so like this is the front here, and then it rolls back around as that darker shade comes in through there. Yes, my version does feel cuter at the moment. Wait, hold on. Not anymore. Looks like she's wearing a witch hat. That's the thing that's kind of bugging me already. So to me, I feel like this is more interesting than this side. Like this shape comes in and kind of like stops, and then you've got this secondary shape that actually comes out from underneath this. And I think what's happening too is that my line is this front line that comes all the way down, whereas this is the front line, it kind of stops, and then this secondary line kind of ducks in a little bit, right? So it's not all this one straight line. So maybe what I'll do is just kind of kill that a little bit. Yeah, Sven, it's been a while, man. How you been, dude? It has been quite a while. Of course, I don't really... I've been so busy at the new job, I haven't really been streaming much. Been trying to get to do some streaming and get that other character that I was working on into game res, but just busy. Asgard, what's up, buddy? Okay, so I think all of this should be the same plane here. And then I feel like this here would be that part. Yeah, man, it's working at Crystal Dynamics has been friggin' awesome so far. Absolutely amazing. What's up, Zarius? How you doing? The other thing that I tend to do is I tend to jump around a little bit. You know, it's totally normal to like kind of work on an area and then just not feel excited about it or not know kind of exactly how you want to approach it or what's wrong with it until you actually move to another part, start working on that, and then when you're looking at that part, you kind of glance back at another piece and you're like, oh, I know exactly how to fix that. That happens a lot. Maybe this needs to start bulking up a little bit more. So we've got maybe this thing coming through here. Right, we've got this little piece. And maybe this actually sharpens out as well. He's starting to get there. It's starting to feel like him. Good spin. From the start of this character? Or the other character you're talking about? Oh yeah, from the original streams. Yeah. That was back in the day, man. That was back in the day. Guys, Sven has been following my streams since I started. God, how many years ago was that? Oh, dude, Crystal's been amazing. Amazing. It's a really great studio. Awesome and talented people over there. And we get to work on Avengers. So that's dope. So I feel like what we were saying earlier with this line kind of comes down more, and then this line kind of like pulls up a little bit. I feel like all this should start coming up more. Ha! Thanks, man. Well, hard work eventually pays off if you keep at it, so if anybody can attest to that, I can. Okay. So let's look at this again. So I felt like this in here and this in here is really bugging me now. So let's just make sure. Let's just cheat a little bit. See how far off we are. Let's see if I can turn this a little bit. Just to get, I'm not worried about this down here too much. I just kind of want to get this look, this feel. Ooh, look at that. Oh, we're getting there. Okay, so maybe all this stuff needs to come down. Right, all this stuff needs to come down. This needs to come out more. You got like this kind of thing happening. It's not bad. We're getting there. We're not too far off. Come out here a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, see? Yeah, see? Not bad. I can still do it. I got it still. Yeah, see? Yeah. Sorry. What I really want to do is I want to make sure that I kind of get this feel here. And then I think my eyeballs need to come out a little more to there. There we go. Cool. Alright, now let's see. Does it look dope right there? You're like, yeah! Oh, such an awesome artist! Oh, I make cool stuff! And then you're like, oh, yeah. It's getting there, though. He's getting there. Okay. I think we really want to try to start focusing on the eye. Let's take a second first. See how I feel about, well, yeah, let's focus on the eye real quick. So maybe we'll flush this out. Actually, maybe this comes back a little bit more. This kind of comes out. Okay, so I do feel like the corner of his eye is actually pretty close to this piece here, which is okay. I feel like his eyes are facing forward, you know, they're not like out like a bird. So that will give me that. So let's just go with that, and then see what we can do. So now I'm kind of getting to the point where, like, I feel like I almost need some more. Feel like I need more resolution here to get that. So that's one point, right? So like somebody was asking me earlier, like, how do you know when to go up in resolution? So it's usually until I get to 3 or 4 points where I can't go any further, is usually when I'll start going up. But so when I get to this point, which is the first point where I don't have enough, like I feel like I don't have enough, I kind of like note that. Right? Okay, now I'm getting to a point where this in here I feel like to kind of really get what I want from his eyes. I feel like I need a little bit more resolution in here. So instead of going in and adding resolution, I'll make sure that I come back to this, right? So I look at it and it's like, okay, I need more resolution there. All right, I'll step back from the eyes and focus more on nailing the rest of the secondary until I need more resolution there, right? So I'll wait until I get probably one more spot where I run into that same issue, and then I'll start thinking about going up in resolution. Yo, what's up, Pedro? Yeah, Happy New Year, man. Yeah, dude, it has definitely been some time. It has been some time. All right. So what does the back of a neck look like, right? I still want to make sure that I have a nice S-curve. Hello? Okay. Why was there a mask? Oh, I did mask that earlier. So I kind of want to make sure that, you know, you've got still anatomy in here, right? And it has to be believable anatomy. And not necessarily believable from a physics point of view, but from what your eye thinks would be feasible, right? So it's a little bit of a gray area. You know, could it exist? Yes. Does it look right? That's really the point we're trying to make is, does it look right to the to our eyes? Does it look believable? So what I'm gonna do is you know, he's still got zygomatic, he's got mandibles, you know, he's got a skull piece. So back here, you know, I want to make sure that he's got like a back of a skull, and that some type of structure supports that. Even if it's super subtle, right? It just makes things more believable, right? Yeah, so you got your trapezius that comes back through here. You got your sternocleidomastoid that comes through here. You got your throat area that comes through here, right? Even if it may not be exactly right for that species or whatever, at least making sure that things have believable shapes, you know? Right, and then this comes in a little bit. right? It just feels better. I haven't touched ZB in a couple years. Just the other day I saw that there are VDM brushes, I believe they were called. Do you use any of them? I don't really use VDM brushes. I think mostly just because I haven't really had the opportunity to personally dive into them too much. Um, and I probably wouldn't use them until like I had something that I would really need to use it on. You know what I mean? So like, um, dragons or like scales or like something with just a massive amount of teeth or something. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to dupe this one too. Let's actually dupe this guy, and then let's do this. Here's a little trick for you, boys and girls. Dupe. Oh yeah. Really want to push this whole like compound structure, compound shapes, compound silhouettes. Yeah, Dougie, you're way late, bro. Like I'm done, right? Done. Missed it. Completely done. Done, bro. I'm done. But what I mean by like compound shapes is that like when you look at it from one way, it looks, it has a certain read, and then you look at it from another angle, and it has an alternate read, right? And then you look at it from another angle, and it has another type of read, right? Where you got all of these kind of shapes kind of flowing into each other, and making sure that every single angle of this guy looks cool, right? The shapes that are happening have a really nice form factor to them. You know what I mean? I think that this stuff should come in more. Right, this style is gonna mimic what this is doing, where like it's like kind of larger, flat, bony, and then it comes in and then it has like this little knob at the end. But yeah, it's so important to be able to make sure that you have cool shapes from any angle, right? You've got all kinds of cool things happening. Maybe so I'm looking here and it's got one, two, three. Those are kind of the same shape, right? I'm thinking about that layered cake effect where yeah, it's okay, but I think I can make this look more interesting, right? And maybe that consists of actually pulling this even further back. Maybe this actually comes like way back like this. All right, so now maybe got this thing that comes in here. Yeah, what I'm not digging too much is like this really this negative space in here where it's very like these two shapes are really parallel. So what I want to do is I want to kind of break that up a little bit. What if I bring this out and this closer, right? And then maybe this comes out like that. Right, so taking your negative space shapes into account too, right? You've got a large space here for negative space, you got a medium space here, and then a small space, right? Just making sure that you're following those all over. Maybe maybe this piece actually goes way back. Right, and then when you're looking at this, this is the large one, this is the medium one, this is the small one. But be careful, you can lose it pretty easily, so you kind of have to go with what feels right. Maybe this should be a little bit thicker. Back face mask. Back face mask. Maybe this is... Right, so we got some more shapes that are coming in. Through here. Right, so we've got this shape. We got, again, small, medium, large, right? So we got this large shape that comes in through here. Maybe we've got this smaller shape through here, and then we've got a medium shape that comes through here. And then we've got maybe this that comes in. This piece comes. And again, check this shape, check this shape, check this shape, right? Those are similar. Maybe I actually want to bring What's up, Jackie Chan? How's it going? What's up? What's up, what's up, what's up? And maybe actually this shape comes up a little bit higher. Thanks, he's getting there. He's getting there. Alright, we got... So again, if you're looking at this, right, so we've got a large shape. Let's say medium shape and then a small shape, right? Large, medium, right? So you got these really nice alternating shapes, shape sizes. And so this piece kind of comes up all the way through there. Maybe this piece is actually a little bit there like that. And then we've got this smaller piece here. And then we've got this larger piece. That comes in like this. Right, and then like gets divided here. And then this is all bisected down the middle. Right, and we've got something like that, something like that. Alright, so you're still hitting those nice, like, small, medium, and large pieces. Hugo, what's up, man? Happy New Year, buddy. Did you know how to lock the point of view of the angle of the ref? There's ways that you could do it. You can use, I think it's in Document, ZBrush properties. You can use the ZBrush properties here, which is pretty cool. So like, let's say I want to do say I get a good angle here, like this, right? And I want to always get back to this. I don't want to put this in anymore. I could just do like a custom angle, right? So if you go up to Document, you just come in here, do like a custom one. Then what you can do is you can come in, rotate, blah, 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 blah. And then if you go back to custom, it'll throw it right back there for you. So I do that a lot too if I need to get back there. I still feel like his eyes should be next. All right, so I'm getting closer to wanting to at least take this head up a little bit. We'll see though. We'll see. Do you recommend? Okay, wait. Search for a row with a slew of corrections. How I see feel. Delete. Do you recommend any Gumroad or tutorial for even live classes for learning anatomy and sculpting? So far I have Grassetti, which is awesome, Anatomy for Sculptors book. Take a look at Scott Eaton, Eaton. He is an amazing anatomy artist. You can also look at Ryan Kinsling. Really does a lot of good anatomy stuff. Alright, so now I'm going to start kind of like, as I'm still kind of not happy with this or this, I'm going to start kind of getting some of these secondary shapes at least started, so I can start narrowing down where I'm going to need more resolution. This is his little mouth. Okay, I'm gonna start needing more in there. Could still get some of this. Honestly, I think just having a critical eye and learning how to study is probably the most important thing, right? Size and relationships, and how things interact with each other, shape-wise. Once you kind of learn that, it all becomes much easier, right? Learning how to study is probably the biggest thing that's really tough to nail. Okay. All right, let's take a look. This is bugging me back here. I'll get to that later. Okay. I think we can go up in resolution a little bit. I think it's about time. This right here is really bugging me a lot. Yeah, Glauco's another good one. Good call. Yeah, that's another good thing too, is, you know, like what do you want to focus on? Do you want to focus on anatomy? Do you want to focus on creatures? Well, I think you should nail anatomy first before you go into creatures. Definitely should. There's a lot of good stuff out there. There's a lot of good free stuff too. If you just scour YouTube, there's a lot of good free stuff on YouTube too. It's really just kind of about, you know, making sure that you spend the time practicing. That's really the biggest thing. Did I draw the reference? No, I did not draw the reference. This is from Ben Lowe, is his name. I'll go ahead and actually put the link up to his work, to his art station. If you guys want to check him out, I highly suggest checking out Ben Lowe. He does a lot of awesome work. Actually, now that we've got some more people in here, we'll we'll take a look at the concept again. So this is Ben Lowe, senior concept artist. He did some work for Mass Effect Andromeda. Does some really, really awesome stuff. He just did some like alien head exploration. He just kind of like did a bunch of really cool stuff. I was like, hey, you know what? That might be kind of fun. Just sculpt one of these dudes. So check Venlo out. He does some awesome stuff. Yeah, Darken. That's another good one too. Where'd my pen go? Here we go. All right, time check. 7:17. All right, yeah, I think it's time to move up. Let's actually do this first. Let's give him a little bit of shoulder in here. Okay. I feel like this actually should go back too. I feel like all this should hang out further back. Alright, so as we kind of pull this way, maybe not so far out. I'm looking at where this stops here. Yeah, like that a little bit better. Maybe this actually comes out like so. What's up, Pro? How you doing? What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Okay, I feel like we're getting there. I feel like it's getting to be a little bit more like him. Okay, let's go up a little bit. All right, maybe I should save this first. What do you guys think? Nah, it's throwaway. It's just practice. Gotta learn how to kill your darlings, right? Let's go. Let's Ben low alien head practice 01. Usually when I'm saving sculpts, if I'm doing it from somebody's concept, I try to keep their name in every place that I can. So a lot of times if it's a short name, I'll try to actually keep it in the actual name of the file. That way I always know who it came from. Okay, so that. Okay, cool. Indy, what's up, buddy? Ah, thanks, man. I'm just happy that that some people got some good stuff out of those interviews and stuff. It's always what makes my heart melt a little. Now, if I only had time to do more. Okay, so usually before I go up, and when I'm happy with something, I'll just duplicate it off, send it to the bottom, turn it off. That way I can always just kind of get back there. So if I ever like lose the overall feeling of it, and I really need to get back, I always kind of have that just sitting in the background. All right, so let's take this up. Let's just double this at 128. Let's make sure that that's gonna happen. There we go. you'll see, like, I was able to do a lot with just a little bit of, you know, small amount of polys. Now I should be able to do almost everything with this. And we're sitting at 165,000. So usually when I go up, I'll try to do just a quick clay polish. What clay polish does for me is kind of gets rid of all the noise and focuses and emphasizes on just the shapes, right? So if I nail down my shapes and everything before I move up, then my clay polish really helps kind of clean the palette for me, like as I like to say. And then I can kind of start a little bit more of those minor secondary forms. Just make sure that when you do clay polish that you always clear the mask, because you always get like this weird, like you have weird things happen where like there's actually a mask that's put on there, a very, very small one. Alright, so now I feel like, now that I got some extra resolution, I like to try to make fun stuff first, right? The stuff that really nails the concept. Because then, if I can do that, then I get really excited about everything else. So you got this corner of the eye comes up a little bit more. This kind of comes in. Pull this out for that bottom lid. I'm actually thinking, you know what? Maybe we can actually pull those eyes back a little bit. Why did they go in more? That was weird. There we go. That was weird. Anyway, so now I can kind of, oops, let's pull back to that guy. Get a little bit more. Yeah, that's true, Siegel. You can. If you can get some cool happy accidents. There's a whole like workflow for trying to get happy accidents as well. Alright. Now I feel like his zygoma, this piece is not correct, so I'll try to establish the eye socket here a little bit better. Alright, so let's actually do this. Let's go back to custom. Here we go. So let's actually pull all this down more to kind of match and open up this bottom of the eye a little bit more. And maybe we can pull this in just to kind of map out where that eye socket starts. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is add just a little bit more down here so that we can kind of get some of these nice plane changes that are happening. So it looks like this right here is a little bit more flat and kind of angled up, and then it has a really kind of almost sharp end, and then not much there. So if I come in maybe with a flattening brush, I can really try to get that plane established. What I really want to do is I want to make sure that this stuff can actually come back and then maybe in, right? So like it's important to get those planes nice and established. Maybe let's redynamesh again. There we go. All right, and then this comes in with that little notch thing right there. There we go. Now we're starting to get something. Now we're cooking. Oh yeah. Question. Try using an image plane in ZBrush. How the hell do I make the geo transparent? I would just I'm honestly I don't know. I never use the planes in here. You could probably go to Z Classroom and look at image plane stuff in there. Or you can go to Ask ZBrush on Twitter and ask there. What I usually do was I just use this little see-through window transparency, and I'll just throw it up in the background. Or I just keep it on a second monitor. The concept artist is Ben Lowe, L-O. I'll give you the link again if you want. Here's the link to his ArtStation. This was a concept that he did for Mass Effect, Andromeda. I really want to try to get these planes correct. I think it's important. Okay. So again, we'll just kind of get just the overall kind of flow of some of these lines that are coming through here. And again, I can also move my light around. Move my light around. Why isn't my light moving? That was weird. Why is the light not moving? What? That's really weird. The light should be moving on this. That's scary, knowing that that's not happening. Yeah, he's got some awesome work, man. Awesome work. How much work do you have to put into Retopo if you make a game entirely in ZBrush? How much work do you put into Retopo if you modeled a game character entirely in ZBrush? I feel like you can do Retopo fairly well in here, but for me, I always do my Retopo in either Modo or Maya. I'm more comfortable with those Retopo tools. Do I? Oh, I do. I have Matcap Gray. Why do I have Matcap Gray? This should be basic material. Thank you, Siegel. That was like freaking me the hell out. That was really weird. Yeah, thank you. That's 0.85, that's fine. Yeah, no problem, Polycode. I'm here to answer questions, man. Okay, I feel like this all needs to come up more. Alright, so I'm looking at the planes right here, right? So like this kind of like thins out and then it rotates in towards the eye, which is kind of not really happening here. So I'm trying to get this the rotation of that plane, right? So like now you see the shade here like roll off back towards, and this is kind of a front plane here. There's even times where I'll just go through like crazy with the H-polish brush, and I'll just make sure that all the planes are going in the right direction before I start sculpting on them again. Alright, so this is all wrong here. Oh, I haven't even got to that yet. But I feel like these, like this plane should come up like this. Right, we have maybe this should be a little bit more rounded here. Right. Okay, so I'm looking at, right, see where this highlight ends right here, and then it turns back, right, and then this is upward facing, and then this is all downward facing. So I really want to kind of nail what that does. So I use H-polish for this quite a lot, actually. I want to make sure that there's a nice plane change there. All right, and then I'll just even that out. All right, so I'm really starting to get this same light play. And then I think this needs to come down a little bit further. Right, so I'm looking at the thickness here versus the thickness here, right? Versus the thickness here versus the thickness here. So it goes a little bit skinny, it goes nice and thicker, and then back to skinny, right? So like the skinniest part is here. This is the more thick spot here. And we've got a little bit more this thing that comes through here. Does ZBrush create fairly even geo with decent edge loops to start with, or do you often end up with a lot of retopo work to do? No, in this phase I primarily use Dynamesh. So if you guys are not familiar with Dynamesh, what it does is it creates kind of an even spread of geo across your subtool that you're on, right? So let's say just a quick lesson in Dynamesh. So let's say, like, you know, you have this thing come out here, right? You're like, oh, I want to, you know, add more out here. The problem is that now, like, you don't have enough geo out here, right, to really kind of do that. So if you have Dynamesh on and go and do the same as clearing a mask, what it does is it goes back and does a kind of a quick retopo, like a dirty retopo, and it basically keeps even geo across your whole model. So that's the power of Dynamesh. So in this phase, I'm almost entirely Dynamesh. And then when I start breaking things out and needing to do more like smaller work, then I'll start breaking things out and maybe remeshing them. But I don't worry about that until way later. Oh, District 9, yeah. It's not an overlay, Oliver. It's actually an underlay. So right now I'm just using this see-through opacity, where I can change the opacity of ZBrush, and that piece of concept art is just sitting on my desktop. So I'm just using around 20-ish.
Yeah, I don't. I just haven't wrapped my brain around Spotlight enough to use it to its proper awesomeness. So the other thing that I'm seeing is that this plane here, right? Like this actually is almost the same and opposite plane as this, right? It doesn't have like this weird overhanging shadow um, here. So I want to kind of make sure that. Oops. Yeah, no problem, Oliver. It's funny. Like I just learned something yesterday that I was like I didn't know that you could use your up and down arrows to go through your um, subtools. I didn't know you could do that. It's just little things that you don't necessarily you never used before, so you don't know it's there. And that's why it's helpful to watch other people work. Like, wait, how the hell did you do? I mean, every time Paul or Joseph get on and do their streams and stuff, like Paul's Did You Know streams, um, I learned so much stuff. It's like, wait, it can do that? Holy, holy! I didn't know that either, Indy. I know. I just learned that yesterday from one of my colleagues at work. He's like, yeah, just press the. Why are you like actually clicking on the different subtools? Just use your arrows. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, use your arrows. It's like, so a lot of times, like I'll use that where, like, let's say I duplicate this guy, right? Let's turn everything off, and then let's on this guy, we'll just make a super drastic change. Oops. Maybe he's down here like this, right? And then what's awesome is that if you go back to this one, right? If you just toggle back and forth between these, when everything's off, and then just use your up and down arrow, you can really cool. You can just toggle back and forth between those two, right? I'm like, yeah, I definitely don't like that one, so I'm just gonna delete that guy. And then we'll just shift click on the eye. That'll turn everything back on. Just turn that guy back off. Done. 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 Z Classroom has a whole series or a whole video on Spotlight. So if you guys want to learn how to use it in there, just go to zclassroom.com and find it on there. All right. The other thing too is I like trying to figure out where the light sources is coming from. I think it's important to figure that out, especially if you're looking at kind of like planes and how the light's moving. Right now, I feel like it's just kind of coming from straight down, and then maybe this rim light is coming back through here. So sometimes you can even put in a rim light. All right, so if we go to light, let's turn this second one on. All right, so if you click on it, it will shove it to the back. So let's turn this guy off, and this one let's take to 4, let's say. And then if we move this like this, and then turn that to like a blue, we can kind of even mimic the lighting that's in the concept. I'm going to take this guy and turn this guy back on. Alright, so we can start even getting some of that lighting happening. Yeah, maybe this light is actually lower down here because we're starting to get it coming up through here. So yeah, it's lighting the underside of the zygoma here and only the underside of this one here, right? Maybe that's a little bit better. Sometimes it can be a little distracting. You can't really see the shapes, so sometimes I'll leave that on, sometimes I'll turn it off. But in this case, I really want to try to get this shape right in here. So I'm trying to catch a little bit of that highlight here. Maybe this goes back some so the light can pull up through here like that. You should set your page up and page down. Yeah, you could do page up and page down too. Want more space in your shelves to put in more buttons. Hold Control and click a blank area on the side, base or top shelves, and move your mouse. Wait, what? Let's turn on config. Hold Control and click a blank area. Oh, what? No. No. Mind is blown. That's awesome. See, there's all kinds of things. All kinds of things. It's amazing. Thanks, Darkin. So yeah, let's maybe get this little piece here. Okay, now we're starting to kind of get a little bit of that shape underneath just by having some lighting information through here, which is pretty helpful. Maybe I'll just thin that out a little bit. Actually, maybe this light is actually almost here. Let's actually turn that light down to like straight 2. There we go. Okay, and maybe all this is flush with this piece. There we go. That's fair. See, now that you really start, because like when you look at a concept, right, especially if it has eyes, like you're looking here mostly, right? So if you can nail that area where you look at the most, it becomes much easier. Life just becomes easier. Okay, and then maybe this, we'll just push this in a little bit more. Like that. Maybe we'll do some of these lines just to see if we can kind of get some of those shapes really coming in there. Yeah, now we're getting something. Now we're getting something. The thing too is sometimes I'll come in and start painting some of these values in. This can become really handy is you know, we're working for one value here. Let's actually take that light. Let's change this light to more of a green. That I feel is a little bit better. Okay. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just come in and do a quick poly paint on this guy, just to start seeing what those different values look like. as I'm rolling through. So I usually don't do it to this time too, because polypaint's based on how many points you have, right? So each point would be assigned a color value. So if you don't have enough, your polypaint kind of looks jaggedy. So let's say I'm gonna paint a black. So let's do this. So let's go to standard. Let's do RGB. Let's do not quite a white. Let's do like a there. Then we'll do fill object. Make sure my color's at 100%. Okay, cool. And then now what I can do is come in with that darker color. You know what? Let's do this. So C, wherever your cursor is, if you hit C, it'll color pick for you, whatever is there. Completely stopped learning anything about ZBrush when they released ZModeler stuff? Oh no. ZModeler's amazing, man. Yeah, the Square Enix Final Fantasy 15 presentation was awesome. Amaze. Okay. So let's grab this dude. We'll just do a quick color fill. We do this dude, we'll do a quick color fill. And then on these guys, we'll do like this yellow green. Something like that. Okay, time check. Alright, cool. So let's do fill object on that guy. Alright, so let's come back in here, grab this dude, and then now we'll take this darker, not completely dark. I want to still be able to read some of the shadows that are in there. And then we'll just paint this in real quick. You gotta make sure that your Z add is off though. Let's just turn this back to 0 for now. So it usually by the time I'm kind of getting closer to feeling more comfortable with the secondary shapes, I'll tend to come in and do a little bit of poly painting, just to help get the overall feel and making sure that it's nailing all those pieces that I want it to. Or sometimes if you don't have any color on it, it can be really distracting. Yeah, somebody else was saying it looks like Warframe too. And I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time. I just want to kind of get the overall feeling. Just come through and just do a little bit. Happy little alien. What's great is that now that I have these two colors, what I can do is just come in and color pick again, and I can just kind of tighten up a little bit of these areas here. Grab that dark again. Let's just pull a little bit of this in here. Okay, let's see. Okay, we got this that comes in through here. Let's just get the rest of this back here. Won't worry about all that back there yet. Alright, so now how are we looking? He's getting there. Check that out. Looky looky. This is still really bugging me. We'll probably get to that next. Alright, and then we'll just do a quick once on this dude. Nope, not a Warframe skin. This is a concept from Ben Lowe. This is some of his sketches that he did for concepts for Mass Effect. Andromeda. Alright, and then I'll pull this color again and just kind of tighten up some of this. Okay, we'll do a quick same thing with this guy. And the shapes aren't even correct on this one yet, but get the idea. Okay. All of this is dark in here. Just add a little bit of variation kind of coming through here. And we'll just grab that white again and just pull it back. Pull some of these areas back just to give it a little bit of crispness. Okay. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Maybe what we could do is just be crazy about it. I don't really do poly paint on eyes very well, so this may be good or not. We'll see. Maybe we'll do a divide on that one time. Alright, so then something like that, and then maybe we'll do kind of that green. Actually, let's color pick this guy, and then we'll just do like a super dark. Okay, then we'll do a little bit more of a color, I guess. Maybe do more of a little bit more of a green. Okay. Do I use Substance Painter or Mari to do finished paint jobs for presentation of models? Because I do mostly game res stuff, I almost always use Substance Designer or a substance painter. So, all right, let's have this like pretty black in here, and then let's do the final touch, and then just throw some white. Actually, you know what I'll do? Instead of doing the white, let's do like toy plastic. And then we'll do just fill with material, and then fill object. And then we'll go back to basic material. That way we've got actually a little bit of shine that comes through there. What's up, RG Check? How you doing, man? There's definitely some things to learn when going through and doing this type of stuff. See, now that like you nail, like if you can nail the center point of what you're working on, it really helps sell everything, right? How close are we? That's pretty close, right? That's pretty close. At least the overall feel of the guy is there. That's really what I wanted to nail on this stream. So actually, let's reDynamesh. Oh my God! Stop doing that. Bacon, what's up, buddy? Yeah, now we're just getting into the fun stuff. I wish I had more time. Wish I had more time in my stream, guys and gals. Yes, the rewards are well worth it if you have the patience and the passion. Hey, yo, it's 8 o'clock. Do you know where your ZBrush artist is? He's right here. Oh. Alright. So let's just do a couple of more quick things on this guy, and I think we're going to call him done for this exercise. I may go back and like do some more on him later, but for this exercise is really just kind of wanted to nail the concept. And show you guys how I would take and just do the overall piece. Yeah, that was my pinball alarm. Well, I think talent's a really interesting word to use. I think talent, the idea of talent comes from practice and dedication. If you practice enough and are dedicated enough and spend the time to learn, then you become talented. And I think pretty much anybody can do that. You just have to have the practice and the passion, you know what I mean? And this is all, again, this is all like pretty low polys, right? I really wanted to make sure that I was able to nail pretty much everything with low poly. Right? If you look at this, right, it's not super dense, right? Just enough to hold. If you're going to go into and you're going to focus on 3D, I highly, highly suggest um, traditional sculpting. It helps your mind realize three-dimensional shapes. Um, you know what? Let's do this. So yeah, it helps your mind kind of realize how shapes work in three dimensions. It's really a, a great way to up your game, if I may. Just to help me understand better, you know? Oops. Practice, passion, and lots of coffee and late nights. You have the winning combination, sir. Yes, that is pretty much it. But it's more of a passion thing, you know. Like if you live, eat, and breathe this type of stuff, then you can be successful. If you're just in it for a hobby, it can be a hobby. It can definitely be a hobby. But I always tell people it's to get to a point where you can kind of understand what makes things look good and then actually do them. Um, there's a long time usually in between those times of just starting and then being able to just understand the core concept ideas of shape and repetition and compound forms, those types of things. Um, takes a while to get to, so you got to be passion helps out an incredible amount. You just thinking about it all the time, and like you end up analyzing everything you look at. I'm to a point now where I can't, if I'm having a meaningful conversation with somebody, um, I can't look at their face because I always to to a point now where I end up analyzing their face more than like actually talking with them. So it gets a little weird. All right, I think I think that's good enough for now. What the next part for me would be in this guy would be to go through and really nail down my final secondary shapes. Just like I would probably go through and fix all this stuff. I go and kind of get all of this, um, refine all of this stuff, and then go through in the back of the head and do a similar process here using these same design concepts through here. And that's what I would do. Yeah, man, try it. Yeah, it's amazing, you know, being able to create um, cool looking stuff is one of those things that I have been so happy doing for a long period of my life. Now I'm to a point now where this is the fun stuff, so like I don't want to finish. I don't want to finish. I just want to keep going. But I gotta go get my daughter up, so. Nah, fun. It's fun. My friends used to hate going to see movies. I used to break down the special effects. Yeah, exactly. The movies and stuff too. Was when I was taking a storyboarding class. I was like, oh man, I can't watch movies the same anymore. Ah, it's fun. All right, I gotta stop now. Some of this stuff you can just have fun with, you know? Okay, I gotta call it. All right, ladies and gents, it's been fun. I feel like we had a good round this morning. On my next stream, in between this stream and next stream, I may end up doing another one of these, because this was kind of fun. But I'm going to be probably starting another large project, which will be a full character sculpt. So I'm planning out a fairly long series for a full character for doing all the trinkets and whatever that is going to be. I just haven't figured out what that's going to be yet, or what concept I want to work from yet. So hopefully I'll have something nailed down by the next stream, which is actually going to be... Let's see, when's the next time I'm on? I think it's 2 weeks from today. Yeah, so the 20th will be 2 weeks from today. Same bat time, same bat channel. So hopefully between now and then I'll have a final concept that I want to work from to do a full ZBrush character in. So it's going to be a long series, so it'll probably be at least a good couple of months. Maybe even longer for that series, but I'm planning on doing it 100% on these streams on the Pixelogic channel. So be able to take you guys through, the blockout process, how to analyze the character, what things are important, how to block them out, and then going into like final res detail and all that fun stuff for a full character. So that's what I'm planning on starting 2 weeks from today. So you can follow my channel on ZBrushLive.com. You can follow past ones there if you would like. See some of the stuff that I've already done. And then if you don't catch my next stream, you can always catch the replay either on ZBrushLive.com under my page or Pixelogic's YouTube channel, I believe, as they post them there too. So, all right, it's been fun, guys. Thanks for everybody for hanging out. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys learned a couple of things, but most of all, I hope you're inspired to go make your own cool stuff. So do it. Go make some cool stuff. Rock on. All right, see you guys.